Hello, folks. Rudros here with a bit of a channel game update, and I will get right to the point. I will be changing a few things here on the channel. I'm probably going to kind of shift focus on the kind of content I'm doing. Long story short, I don't really plan to play the game much more. As far as like actually being the one playing it, I just don't really enjoy it anymore. But I do enjoy talking about it, and I enjoy casting it, so I'm going to focus on that a lot more. I probably won't do as many deck techs right now. I think Steve D on YYT does really good ones, and all the ones I've thought of doing are either just stuff he's already covered, or like the meta stuff is so known right now anyway. And I've never really done meta decks. I usually tend to do more fun off decks that like, hey, I think you'll have a good time with this, or I really enjoy this tribe, so let me do that. I've never really covered, people know mono water's good. They don't need my version of a mono water deck or my version of a mono wind deck. And unfortunately, I just don't think a lot of those fun decks really hold up much scrutiny today. I think they just get destroyed by most of these meta decks, so I haven't felt very inspired to do deck techs. So going forward, I might do one here or there if people really, really ask for it, but wanted to shift my focus. I do want to commentate. That's kind of been one of my main loves, and something I still just really enjoy. I enjoy talking about the game and casting it live. So speaking of which, in just a few days, we are going to have the start of our competitive season. We actually have 3 Materia Cups going on around the world. I believe it's 3. I think there's one in Europe, and then I know there's one in America on Saturday. What is it, the 21st, 22nd? And then there's also one in Australia. And I'm lucky enough, I will actually be casting part of the Australian stream. Hopefully day 1. I don't know about day 2, because I'll also be casting the American stream. I'll be your commentator for that. And I don't know if I can do all that back to back, so I might only do day 1 of Australia. It's going to be a lot of commentating as is anyway, but again, I love it, and I genuinely enjoy it. And hopefully, if you've watched any of those, hopefully you enjoy my commentary. I'd like to think I'm good at it. I know the game, I know the lines, and I try to be exciting when I can. So I hope you enjoy that. If not, hey, I'm always open to criticism and things you think I could improve on. But nonetheless, yes, we got a lot of exciting tournaments coming up. We'll see what wins. I pretty much expect a certain amount of decks to be there. I will be shocked if anything kicks out one of the ones I'm expecting, but you never know. So, the game's played on paper, right? Still got to run hot, so that's the goal. A couple people have asked. I won't be going to any of these tournaments. I don't have plans for any of the Materia Cups or the Store Championships. Again, I will be casting this one coming up in Florida. I'll also be casting the one in Texas. I have reached out to a few other stores about casting those. Hopefully that'll work out. If not, maybe you'll see somebody else. Some stores, unfortunately, might not even be streaming it from what I've heard, so it'll just depend on the stores. If you have a store championship and you would like a commentator for it, feel free to reach out to me. I had someone reach out already, so there is one I'll be doing sometime in the summer. And again, now I'll probably have to do it remotely. Like I don't think I'll be able to travel for any of these unless it's really close, or you want to like pay to get me out there, which I wouldn't ask you to do. But yeah, if you're willing to have someone remotely commentate your stream, your tournament, I would be happy to do it. Feel free to reach out, contact me on Facebook through Messenger or in my Discord as well, which I will have a link in below. Speaking of which, so kind of shifting gears with that, since I'll be mainly commentating from now on, I decided to do a new segment. So we're going to do I'd like to try to do it weekly if there's enough interest. If I don't get enough questions, I may not be able to do it weekly, but I want to do a weekly question and answer session. So I will put a link in the comments of this video for my Discord, for my Twitter, and you can also just leave a question in the YouTube comments itself, this video, future videos, whatever. So in my Discord, I'll have a separate section that says, hey, this is the Q&A section. And just you can ask me, same with my Twitter, do it there. And then YouTube comments, if you have something you want for the Q&A session, just make sure to tag it Q&A, whatever, and then whatever your question is, just so I know that, hey, you want this answered directly on that video as opposed to, me just typing you an answer in the comments. So would like to try to do it weekly, maybe on Tuesdays. Again, we'll see how much traction it gets. But feel free to ask me anything. You can ask me anything about decks. You can throw me a deck list on there and say, hey, what do you think of this? I'd be happy to cover it live. Just know that I'm going to show it on the screen. So like if you have something hidden, don't put that on there. You can ask me about good players. You can ask me about interviews I've done. You can ask me about cards, card design. It doesn't even have to be FFTCG related. Feel free to ask me about video games, movies, music, life, whatever you want to ask. Feel free to throw it on there. I'd be happy to answer. Hopefully that'll be fun. I've always kind of wanted to do some kind of like little fan engagement thing, so that'll be hopefully something that works out. We'll start that segment. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully it takes off. Other than that, I appreciate anyone who watches and supports. Just to be clear on this, I'm not going away. I'm not ending the channel. I'm just not going to I'm just not going to play the game much anymore. You probably know this if you watch me at all, but if you're new, maybe I don't have a locals. I haven't had a local since really Opus 10, and there was a little revival in like Opus 14, kind of 13, but it was tough to get 6 people out there. So because of that, I just don't have anyone to play with, and I can only ever play online. And to be honest, I just find it more and more frustrating and less enjoyable as time goes on to play it. So I would rather just watch it, talk about it, theorize about it, all that jazz. Hopefully you got some fun player/important people interviews coming up for you. Those are in the works. Hopefully they pan out. And likewise, if you win any of these tournaments and you want to come on for an interview to discuss your run for the day or your decks or whatever, feel free to reach out to me. Very easygoing. Happy to work with all those people. But yeah, I really would like to just kind of focus this more on broadcast production. Basically the only thing I'm really retracting is the deck techs, and maybe you won't see any play videos as much anymore just because I don't really plan to play. Will that ever change? It's possible. You never say never. We'll see what the future holds, but unless the design of the game changes, I just don't foresee that happening anytime in the near future. So in the meantime, I just want to talk about it. I just want to cast it and commentate, make it enjoyable for you as the viewer to watch it. Hopefully you'll have someone who is knowledgeable, who knows most of the rulings, who knows how the card interactions work, can see lines, all those things. So I hope you enjoy my commentary because I really put a lot of effort into it. And if not, well, I guess I'll just have to keep working to maybe make you enjoy it in the future. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below as usual. Again, if you want a question specifically answered for the Q&A video, feel free to put it. Make sure you just tag it Q&A just so I know it's for that video or something like that. Anyway, I really appreciate anyone who watches this. If you're playing in one of the Materia Cups this weekend around the world, best of luck to you. You're absolutely going to need it. Hope you do well. Hope I get to cast you on stream. That's always exciting for me when I see people I recognize, and it's exciting too when I see people I don't and get to see them have some fun decks and, beat everybody up and make their way to the top cut and maybe that glorious, glorious prize. So good luck to all the competitors. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support, and looking forward to see what comes in the future. Until next time, take care.